So I'm going to use an acrylic brush here, and see how I lightened up all this area here, because I know I'm going to have some dark trees here. You don't want to have dark color back here if you know you're going to put a tree here, okay? So when you design your landscape, keep that in mind. Now with this acrylic fan brush, it wasn't working too good yesterday, but I cleaned it last night, and I'm going to try and make an evergreen tree here with a tall one, because this is right where we're standing here, okay? This is going to be a little further off, and that's way in the distance, but we could put a big tree here, okay? A big evergreen tree. So I'm going to stamp in the trunk, bring it down, and wet my brush a little bit and grab some more paint. Just fill it up. Now come up here with the corner, and let's start stamping on our leaves with the corner of the brush. Just very easily use the corner and stay skinny up top, and as you come down you're going to get wider and wider, okay? Put a lot of branches on there, okay? Let's get some more paint. And just start pressing harder down here so the leaves get bigger. And then you can fill in the middle here a little bit, just like that. Let's see how that looks in the frame. Wow, that looks pretty good. Now this is a tree that's like pretty close to us, okay? And I'm gonna highlight these bushes for you. Let me put another one like right behind it here, a smaller one. So just stamp the trunk in, use the corner, and stamp your branches on. Just fill it in now because these are mingling together. Look at that. That looks really good. I'm going to make my points a little taller on those. Alright, that's all I can fit in here because I don't want to cover that mountain there. But it's nice to put 3 trees in there. I'm going to grab my smaller fan brush, a number 4, and put one in here. This fan brush works a little better than that big one, okay? Now watch, I'm going to put one just underneath the mountain here. Let's put one, do we want it at an angle, maybe? Let's try it, see what happens. Use the corner of your brush, stamp out your branches, just like that. It looks pretty good. It's a little guy right there. But see, you notice how you can see the background because it's lighter, okay? Let's put some distant trees out here on the edge now with this fan brush. Let's just stamp them in right underneath the brown. Just right underneath the brown up there. Let's stamp in some color here. And bring it, follow the ridge of that brown. Stamp it in. Now wipe your brush off and come in here at the very top and pull up while it's wet, okay? At the bottom, let's pull it to the left. Grab a little bit of your bottom and pull it to the left. Just like that. It'll look like distant trees back there. Very light. They're hard to see. I'll try and darken them up, but you get the idea. Let's put some trees on the edge of this water. I'm going to stamp them in with that 1/2 inch brush. Okay, I'm going to grab some of my sap green. I'm going to have to mix some more brown in it. I'm running out of color. So let's put some like trees out here and then get smaller as you go back in the distance here on that river. Just like that. Just stamp some color in there. Now grab, I'm going to grab my number 2 fan brush, if I can find it. Can't find it, so I have to use this other brush, and at the bottom, pull that color to the left. I waited too long, so you gotta get it right away. As soon as you stamp it in, pull your color underneath. Get that same brush, the 1/2 inch bristle brush. You can get all this stuff at Michael's. It's fairly cheap. Put a little white on it. Get your brush wet, and I'm going to highlight these trees for you so you can kind of see where they're at, the one edge of them. And then I'll just do the tops of those down there. But this is what I'm like seeing there. I'm just doing it in white so you can see them, see the trees, okay? We'll put some green on that when it dries. Let's put our big trees over here now. If I can find my 1/2 inch or my number 2 fan brush, I found it. Now this is an oil brush. You can use oil brushes with acrylic, okay? But you can't use oil brushes with oil. You can't use acrylic brushes with oil paint. But you can use oil brushes with acrylic paint. Okay. And I'm going to mix a little more of my sap green and brown real quick. And throw in some trees on that land right there. When I do my oil painting, I usually put black in it. I put black in my sap green to make it darker. But I'm trying to use just earth tones on this acrylic painting. Alright, so same thing. It's a smaller fan brush because these trees are going to be a little smaller. Let's run a skinny one first. Right on the edge here. This is sap green and brown. And I'm going to use the corner and stamp right down the middle of my trunk. And just get wider and wider at the bottom. Just like that. I'm just going to do one more because I don't want to cover all this up here. I'll do one more really close to it so I don't cover up my whole scene here. Stay right on your trunk and then use the corner and stamp it out and just get wider at the bottom. While it's wet, I'm going to put some highlights in there. Just wipe your brush off. I'm just going to dip into water. I'm going to grab some straight yellow. Just straight yellow. And let's come down the right side of these trees with yellow. Get some more yellow on there. Just stamp it down the right side. Just like that, just to give it a different look. You can still see the dark on this side. It gives it dimension. Let's see if what happens when we put a little yellow here. It might be too much. Those are already dry, so I'm going to leave those dark like that, I'm thinking. Let's highlight these bushes. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to highlight. Like, you could come in here at first and use this yellow, and we can put some indication of like yellow things going on down here at the bottom, like this. And now let's grab a that half-inch bristle brush, and we'll highlight these bushes now. Let's use, I'm going to mix that alizarin crimson with some yellow. It really makes a nice orange color. Alizarin crimson and yellow. Okay. And wet your brush and dip right into the color. It's going to be like an orange color. Let's see. Let's start from left to right. So, okay, so let's just stamp at the top of your bushes first. Okay, just at the very tops, and then we'll adjust them if we need them. But just at the very tops, we're going left to right. Okay, so each bush, these ones here are in front of, it's going back that way. Okay, I like that. It looks good. Rinse your brush, your fan brush off. Grab a little bit of that burnt umber, and you can come underneath here and pull down on these things that we made with the yellow. Just pull it down. It'll look like some cool, like grass or something. But there we go. We got some orange bushes. Rinse your brush off. Let's grab some white. Get some white on your fan brush. Get it really wet while this is still wet. And let's put some white flowers in here. Nothing, don't try and make them into flowers. Just come up here and stamp some white in there, okay? And it'll look like, end up looking like flowers on there, okay? Out here we need to put some bushes. What I'm going to do is I'll use this fan brush, and I'll stamp them out first with my green color, the sap green and brown. And then we'll just put some grass down in here in this area. And let's see, I'll probably stamp it, yeah, from here and then go across. All right, we'll let that dry for a little bit. Let's make those trees back there green now. So get a little bit of your sap green and brown and mix a little yellow in it. And I'm just going to use a fan brush and try and turn these trees here a little greener by just putting this color on top. Just like that. It's looking good. I really like it. Now let's use that orange color. We'll put some orange grass down here like it's on fire. We'll start here and stamp across and come up higher, stamp across, and then come up even higher. And we'll stamp across there, just like that. Orange grass. Uh, let's highlight these bushes with that orange. See how it's good to have a little underpaint? When I put it out here on the blue, it's a different color. So it's good to have a dark underpaint before you put your color down. Let's highlight these bushes with white. I'm just being loose, so let's get it to mix in there with that orange a little bit. Anything you do out here will help the picture. Like if you want to add a little white here and there, you could grab a little yellow if you want and just throw some yellow in here. So just to add some color out in this area here. It's fine to do that. Let's grab your, I like using this fan brush. You can really do a lot of work with it, okay? I want to put some, I'm going to get some white and pull just underneath those trees to make the ground look a little cooler, okay? So take some white and just pull to the left, just like that. Very good. Just to add some flavor underneath there. I want to edge this water here. There's enough room for a knife work in there. So get a knife, and what I'm going to do is run a water edge. I'm going to edge it with titanium white with my knife. Get a little roll of paint on your knife, and we'll come up here and edge it with titanium white. See that? Now let's put some more water out here, like it's running down. Just like that. Now let's edge the bottom of this water. I'm not going to put a shadow in here. So let's edge the bottom of this water, or the land, with titanium white. And then we can run a little bit of water down the river like this. Just wiggle some water down here in the water. Don't hit your bushes. And it really makes the water look like it's moving now, like rapids, okay? It's looking pretty good. I like it. You can put some twigs in now if you got a nice liner brush. Let me see where I'm at. 40 minutes. So I'll have two 20-minute segments, okay? Let's try and fix these trees up back here. I'm going to use, add a little gray to the green so it stands out a little more. And I'm going to redo those trees back there with a darker color. Just stamp them out. Wipe your brush off real quick. And with the corner, let's pull up on them just a little. Just to make them look like treetops, okay? Use the corner of the brush and then pull the bottom to the left. Let's grab a little titanium white. Wet your brush, your fan brush, get a little white on it. And at the very bottom of these trees, pull some titanium white out. Just like that, so the trees stand out more, okay? There you go, guys. I'm running on 40 minutes right now. Let me show you the liner brush that I have. You'll need to get a whole, if you want to start paint with me, just get a set of acrylic brushes. I didn't really talk too much about the brushes on this video, but I'm just trying to get people to subscribe right now. And then once I hit 1,000, I can start doing live videos. But get a liner brush. It's really small, and you can put some twigs out here. This is the type of brush you use to sign your name, okay? It's a small liner brush, and you can put these twigs out here. I'm not going to do it for the video because it takes too long. And just dip your brush in the water and grab the paint so it's wet like ink. And these little twigs really make a difference in your painting, okay? When you have a whole bunch of them in there. And if you got dark color here, you can actually use white. Here, I'll show you. Get some white. Some white on your brush and just pull some white twigs over the dark color, okay? It really looks cool on acrylic paint. Something that's hard to do when you do oil painting. But with acrylic, you can pretty much do whatever you want because the paint dries underneath for you. Then you can, do all this other work once it's dry, okay? Very good, people. I really like this one. They're taking a little longer than my oil paintings because I did oil paintings for a long time, but I pulled these acrylic brushes out. They've been packed away for a long time. So there you go. There's a good one to practice on, and get yourself some acrylic paint and some brushes and start painting with me. This was off the top of my head. I just painted that on the fly. It's good practice. It's something you should start doing too. And then you'll get better. You'll get better and better. All right. Thanks for watching, and cheers.